Happy video day, guys. So for today's video, we're going to be doing a concealer first impression. So I heard the announcement that they were going to be coming out with this concealer and I've been waiting for it to release. And it finally released for Rouge members on Sephora's website, and it is the Marc Jacobs Accomplice concealer. Now I believe that everybody can purchase this concealer starting today. So if you guys are interested in this, I believe this is available for everybody today. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to try it on for you guys. I'm going to give you guys some information about it and I'll let you guys know what I'm thinking after putting it on. If you guys are new to this channel, hi, I'm Christina Brooke. This is the Glam Ranch. If you guys like anything that has to do with makeup, you're probably gonna like the channel. So if you hit that subscribe button, you'll find my channel again. So don't forget to do that if you guys like this video. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this first impression. I've got a few things to say about this concealer, so let's get right into the video. So first thing, let's talk about the packaging and let's talk about what you get. So when you receive this package, it does come in a really cute, standard Marc Jacobs container, and when you take it out, it is such a cute little concealer. This isn't one of those really long tube type of concealers. This is a more compact kind of concealer. So for example, guys, this one here is from Flower Beauty, and as you guys can see, it's a lot longer. Here is the Marc Jacobs one, so it is so much smaller and it's more compact. It is a little bit wider than a standard concealer, but I guess the only one that I would say it's kind of close to size-wise would be the KKW Beauty Concealer. It's almost the same size and a little bit more width than this one, but it is a more compact, I believe, travel-friendly kind of concealer. When you guys see the packaging that it comes in, I love Marc Jacobs packaging. I think that Marc Jacobs has the most innovative, coolest packaging, and I really think that this concealer is the same. I love the packaging. I think this is a really smart little concealer. I like the fact that it's so small. You can throw this into your purse. You can take it with you places and use it as a touch-up type of concealer, and I love that about it. And when you take off the top, you are gonna see on the inside, it's actually a stick concealer. So when you pull up the concealer, it does have a divot in it, and that divot is designed so that you can actually stick your finger in there and actually be able to take off the product onto your finger and apply it onto your face with your finger, which actually is a really cool, unique, different approach to concealer. So I used to always use my fingers to apply concealer. It was the only way I liked to apply concealer. I have different methods now that I like a little bit better, but application with the finger is a very good way to apply concealer. And it's one of the most simple ways to apply concealer because you can control how hard you want to press down on your face, and it kind of keeps the product a little bit more in place if you kind of just dab it. So now one of the things that I did see Marc Jacobs saying about this concealer is it's kind of like a touch-up kind of concealer, which I really think is a smart idea as well. When you think of concealers, you always think of this tube that you pull out this doe foot applicator and then you gotta like dab it on your face, and you don't really think of touch-up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you just kind of think of a one-time concealer right when you put it on and that's it for the day. You don't really touch up with it. Now this product kind of like hybrids the two. You are able to use it as a touch-up, which I love. So like, for example, right now, if I just had a little part here that I didn't really like and I was out and about, I can pull out this really storable, very compact little piece of makeup, put my finger right here and just dab it on the area. The purpose of concealer is to conceal issues. So if you're out and about and your pimple starts to show through your makeup, if you grab a little concealer and just go like this, you can make that thing go away right away, rather than trying to fix it with powders, is which usually people throw in their bags. But something like this that you can literally carry around with you everywhere and conceal issues is a really smart idea. And I love the fact that it is marketed as this kind of like easy to use finger application touch-up concealer. That's probably like the idea that they're trying to sell you guys with, which I actually think is very smart. And this product is retailing for $32 US. So you are getting 0.17 ounces of product in here, a little bit less than your typical concealer, but not by a lot. So let's talk about a few things that Marc Jacobs says about this concealer, and then we'll get into showing you guys how I applied it today, and then at the end we'll jump into a few thoughts of mine. So I'm gonna go ahead and read some information from the Sephora website so that you guys can get a little idea of what they're saying about this concealer. So they're claiming that it's a long-wearing creamy concealer and touch-up stick, perfect for on the go in a range of 17 full coverage shades. So then it does say that Accomplice concealer and touch-up stick covers and blends seamlessly for skin that looks totally natural. It layers beautifully under or over makeup, blurring the look of pores, fine lines, imperfections, and hiding dark circles, blemishes, and uneven skin tone. So since I already have a full face of makeup on, powder and everything, towards the end of the video, I am going to try out concealing something on my face to make sure that it doesn't like look cakey or to get dark or anything like that when you're trying to put it over product already. So we'll try that after. So it does say that you can apply it with your finger, a beauty sponge, a concealer brush, or you can also swipe the stick directly onto your skin. So, and now that we've talked about everything that Marc Jacobs is claiming about the Accomplice concealer, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I applied it. So for today, I wanted to try 2 different methods because I figured that we should try putting it on with the finger, just going straight into the product and putting it on with the finger, but we should also try dabbing it on the face and then using a beauty sponge. So on this side of my face, I already had prepped everything, and then yeah guys, I was supposed to do a more natural eye look, and once I start playing with eyeshadows, I don't know, I just can't stop. But anyways, so I did my whole face of makeup except for my concealer and of course powder products. So I went ahead and applied it with my finger. I put my finger into the product and just dabbed it over the skin, pressing it in very lightly, trying to not move around the product to see how it kind of worked. I feel like the consistency is pretty creamy. It's not like a stick foundation. You know how stick foundations feel a little bit harder to move around the skin and it kind of like sticks to you, like it's a weird. I'm not a huge fan of stick foundations. For me, they've always felt like they're just a little bit too tough to blend. This isn't like this. This feels very creamy. So when you put it on the skin, it was very easy to blend. I actually feel like it blended better for me than a liquid version would, because sometimes liquid versions can kind of streak on you while you're blending them in. I feel like this one, as you pressed it into the skin, it almost did feel like it was kind of meshing into your skin. I was a little bit concerned with the creaminess of it, thinking that, uh-oh, this is probably going to show some lines, but as I was putting it onto the skin, I started to notice that it wasn't really showing too many of my lines, which was pretty good. Pretty good. So then I was okay with the coverage. The coverage to me was kind of light. I was still able to see some of the dark circles coming through, but I was still okay with that. Of course, this is a different type of product. This isn't the same as a liquid version. So I went ahead, dabbed into it again, and focused it mostly only on the areas that I felt needed more coverage, and just dabbed it into the skin. And I feel like I was able to completely conceal the area, and it didn't look cakey and it didn't look dry on my skin. I kind of have one of those skins that's kind of like a hybrid skin. It's very normal for the most part. I do get oily around the T-zone, and everything else is usually pretty just like normal. Every once in a while I do get some dry areas, but my under eyes don't typically look dry. But I do have more mature skin, so I am starting to get fine lines, and you know, some concealers can make the area look a little bit drier, mostly because there's some fine lines sitting there. With the finger application, it looked pretty decent. It was more medium if coverage, not full. So I said, let's try on the other side, putting this concealer stick straight to the face and using a beauty sponge. I have to admit, the beauty sponge, I feel, gave it more of an easier, smoother application, and I don't feel like it was eating away the product. I feel like it was kind of blending it pretty evenly, and it was still leaving the product where I placed it. So as I kind of blended it out, I was like, okay, I feel like I was able to get the side that I put it directly to my face to full coverage. So this is kind of how I feel. After doing 2 different methods, I actually feel like this is a really versatile little product. Sometimes when you buy a concealer and you put it on and it's full coverage and they claim it's full coverage, that's it. You're stuck with full coverage. Like you put this thing on and it's like, you know? So now what I like about this is when I used my finger, I feel like I was able to build it up to a nice little medium coverage. I don't ever think it was really too sheer. I mean, I guess you could put very little on and make it sheer. So I feel like it was like a light medium with the fingers. And when I built it up, I was able to get it to like medium. And that was interesting. But then on the other side, when I was able to put the sticks directly to the face and I was able to use the sponge, I feel like I was able to get it to full coverage. So I really feel like it's versatile. Like you can wear this different ways. It's buildable. There we go. That's the word. Very buildable. If I want to do more full glam, I would go directly to the face, use a beauty sponge. If I want to do a little bit less full glam, using my fingers looks a little bit more natural. Now let's get into my thoughts on the product. So I've had the product on for like 2 hours already, and there's a few little things. The first thing is I do not think that this is the most moisturizing under the eye looking concealer. So if you like your under eyes to look extremely moisturized, it has a little bit more of a dry look. It's not super dry looking, like it's not like to the point that I'm like, no, 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 no. And I think the Tarte Shape Tape might be a little bit more drying looking than this one, but it is more on like that zone. I don't know if maybe it is that the formula is a little bit more full coverage, so it's thicker, and because of that it kind of looks a little drier, but it's not super luminous looking. So if you guys have more mature skin and you have dryness under the eyes, I don't know if this might look a little bit too drying under the eyes for you. For me personally, it is not too drying looking. If you have creases in your eyes, you definitely are going to get product in there. Like, it's impossible for a product not to get into a crease. So the creasing that I see on my eyes right now is not like bad. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it is a little bit in the creases, but it's not bad. It's like kind of like a normal, this is kind of like how I usually see it. So for the most part, unless it's a very light coverage concealer, I usually see it like this on more full coverage concealers. So that doesn't really bother me as much. I think it looks fine. But I have to say, after wearing it for like 2 hours, it feels really comfortable. I don't feel like I have anything heavy under my eyes. Like, I have some concealers that are full coverage, and when you put them on, you really feel like you have something goopy under your eyes. This doesn't feel that way. This kind of feels pretty good on the under eyes. It actually feels moisturizing. I don't feel like I have dryness under my eyes. It doesn't feel like it dried or anything. One thing I do want to try is what they said about fixing up your makeup. I do have a nice little friend that's coming out. On which side is it? I think it's over here. Let's try covering him up and see if this works good over makeup. So see, we got a little pimple right there. Let's see that coverage? Oh wow, that's good. Yeah, that's really good. So for the most part on this product, guys, I honestly really like it. I think that this is going to be one of those products that you have to think of it as a double use kind of product. I feel like it works really good under the eyes. I do think that some people might have a little bit of issues with the dryness. It's not super dry though, guys. It's not super dry. So I don't want to say it like if it's a dry product, but I feel like some people, maybe if you have dry skin, you might have a little bit of issue with it being a little dry. But for the most part, I think that the way that you are able to use this to cover up little imperfections on the face is pretty phenomenal. I love that. I feel like this works amazing for that. I feel like if you have like even a zit on your face and you have this inside of your purse and you're just like this at 12 o'clock at night or whenever, or if you're going to dinner after work and you need to just cover up like really quickly, this did an amazing job. So I would tell you guys, if this doesn't work as a good concealer for you, I would consider this as maybe a good face concealer, like for imperfections on your face, for pimples, for dark spots, for hyperpigmentation, for anything that maybe is peeking through your skin and you want to do a quick little dab on it to cover it up midday or at the end of the day or whatever because you're doing something. This might be really great for that. So I would tell you guys, if you guys do decide to purchase this, try it multiple ways. So I have to say, guys, I actually really like this product. Like I said, I think it looks pretty decent under my eyes. I think it did a really good job covering. Obviously, guys, this is a first impression. I'm gonna have to play with this thing a few different ways to see how I like it on my under eyes the most. But for right now, I actually kind of really like this. I love the fact that it's a dual use, and I really love it for concealing the face. I definitely think this is a win, and I can't get over how cute this compact is and how easy this is to use, and I like this. I really do. So for the most part, my under eyes look really decent. They look good. They look very pretty. On camera, they look awesome. In person, they look really good. The only time that you see them maybe a tad on the drying side is when you get really up close to my face. But for the most part, it is nothing that I have not seen with Tarte Shape Tape, and like I said before, I think Tarte Shape Tape is even drier. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope this helped you guys if you guys are deciding whether you want to purchase this or not. And of course, guys, this is a first impression. There will be a full review on this after I've used it for a few weeks, but for right now, I really am excited and I think I might really like this. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.